Today is July 18th. It's about 6 a.m. and 80 degrees already. So I thought I'd do a garden diary. I'm going to start working on the garden a little bit. So we've got a lot of things climbing, which I like. We've had ant problems. I put ant traps in there. My husband battled them a little last night. They're really in the beans bad. I'm gonna work this morning on trying to take care of squash bugs. This is probably going to be a disjointed garden video because I thought I was filming and I wasn't. I thought maybe there'd be some seeds that germinated in here, but nope. So there was chard and a cucumber in the center and nothing's come up, so I'm probably gonna replant that today or tomorrow. I'm gonna pull up this squash plant over here and this pumpkin, and I'm gonna take down this shade cloth for right now. As you can see, it's overcast a little this morning. Another reason I'm out here early is because it gives me a chance to work before the sun comes out. I don't know, maybe it'll be overcast all day, but I doubt it. The okra like it over here. There's quite a few Kajari melons. They love it over here. There's two big ones there. The cow peas like it in here. This black-eyed Susan is finally taken off and starting to climb. This is the vine that the squash bugs got, and I'm going to get in here in just a little bit. This is my cypress vine. It's supposed to eventually get flowers on it, red flowers, so it's tall. There's a tithonia that's blooming right there. This is a zucchini I kind of want to protect from those bugs. I haven't decided what I'm going to do about the tomatoes yet. It's hard to harvest them in this netting thing. Peppers are getting tall. There's my ant traps that don't seem to be doing any good. My eggplant's been producing. I'll probably cut some of those off of there and take them in the house. My marigold died, so we stuck a basil in there. I've still been getting some tomatoes off of these plants, even though they're looking pretty weather worn. You can see the birds sometimes beat me. This is a semi-dwarf zinnia. It's really pretty. I pulled the thing that had gone to seed in here, the mustard. This one I still need to pull. I'm just letting this basil do its thing. This is where I've been kind of getting my transplants. We got one patty pan off of here, and then it's been just crowding out everything else in the bed. This is pretty basil. This plant, I think, is going to. It's a lemon squash. Not too happy. It's sprawling, and it's got some health to some of it, but it's not producing. So I might give it a few more weeks, but not much longer. There's my basil. That's pretty. There's some tatsoi in here, pak choi, whatever that is. Actually, it's probably good that my camera wasn't working earlier and missed this hellacious noise from the pressure of the water. It was watering and making this whistling sound that was so annoying. So don't really want that in my video, but timing is everything. So anyway, I love that we've got some stuff going over the trellises now. These blueberries, we had some water issues, and that one's looking really sickly. I never got any blueberries off of here. I did see some new growth. Excuse me. On this one, there's no, oh yeah, there is. There's new growth right there. So I might give these another chance, but they sure are looking horrible. The gladiolas have been struggling. They're getting plenty of water. It's definitely just the heat. We treated that sago palm. It's got its second treatment last night, so hopefully it'll bounce back, and it's losing some of its yellow, but it needed the second treatment for sure. The canis are having that's some kind of mineral deficiency, so I need to get out here and do something about that. But it's hard to treat some of these plants when it's so hot too. You think, is that good? That's gonna bloom. That basil, that one's looking healthy. I'm gonna redo the bottom of this bed. I'm gonna plan it out before I do it, and maybe put something in there that'll thrive. This lantana, this is why I grow lantana. One of the prettiest things in the yard, and doesn't even mind the July weather. Says, yeah, give it to me. So the heat is no problem for it. So I might put yellow lantana in the bottom. My husband suggested that, and I thought it was a good idea. Yellow lantana likes it. I planted out a basil, took out the petunias that were in here. I got some of the dead out of there and threw some basil in there. We'll see how it does. This one I babied for a little bit with a little umbrella when it was really hot, and then got rid of that, and it's doing really good. I trimmed these back, but again, I think they've got a deficiency as well. I can't remember what it is. I know I looked it up last year. I had deadheaded, and I've got some blossoms that are already, they come up and they don't last but maybe a day or so, and then they're pretty dried out because of the sun. Hibiscus, and then my sky pencils, they've suffered. coleus over here looks pretty good. Basil looks pretty good. That coleus is maybe gonna take off later. I had to move it so late and it was already so hot that it's probably stressed. I think I've shown everything I'm gonna show, so I think I'm gonna get started working, and I may shoot a little bit afterwards. I thought I would add this to the end of my video. I moved this lantana, it's one of those pale pink and yellow ones, from the garden where it was right next to one of my pepper plants to over here, and it's wilting, but we have an overcast day today, so it might be okay, might bounce back. And then I just wanted to show what I did out in the garden. I battled squash bugs for probably, I was out here for 2.5 hours, and I pulled up all of the pumpkin, the spaghetti squash, all of that, and I planted Ford Hook zucchini in here and cowpeas. So I got some seeds planted. I tried to train some vines that were out of control. I worked on getting some of the zucchinis propped up a little bit and some of the dead leaves out of there. I cut off some dead leaves from the butternut squash. I took off the shade cloth. I pulled up one spaghetti squash that had died, and then I trimmed off a lot of dead, and then this is where I just kind of battled bugs, and I filled a pail full of soapy water, and I just started looking for squash bug eggs and squash bugs, and I got most of them out of here. Let's see what else. I cut some leaves off of this squash, and I looked for squash bugs and found a few. And what else? And this is where I pulled the lantana out that was by this pepper plant. And I think that's all I did. But it took a while. And it's sprinkling just a little bit though. So these look much better, even though that doesn't look all that great, the end of that. But anyway, that's it. Today is July 15th, and this is what I got out of the garden. I got 2 Estiva tomatoes. These are hybrid sweet peppers, so they shouldn't be hot. I got some 4th of July tomatoes and 3 noodle beans. Today is Sunday, July 18th, and this is what we got out of the garden. My pumpkin, it's a nice little size. 1 spaghetti squash, quite a few eggplant, and I really probably, these are dull looking, so I will probably go ahead and put those in the food processor and grind them up and freeze them right away. And then I have 1 Roma tomato that is a lot redder on the outside, a couple of peppers, and a couple of noodle beans.